Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night from where when you're watching this video. It's John from IT Skills Academy, and in today's video I'll be demonstrating a project that I have been working on. The project is of a pharmacy management system. I'll have this video on my TikTok account and also on YouTube. If you happen to be watching this video on TikTok, it will be containing of several episodes because it's quite long. But if you want to have a good flow of the video, I would encourage you to watch it on YouTube, IT Skills Academy. So without so much ado, let's get this started. So currently I am on the login screen. So this is the first step that you need to take if you are going to use the system. So you need to provide the credentials. So these credentials that you're going to provide on this specific login screen should be provided to you by your admin. So how the system works is that it's only admins who can be able to create accounts, and then the accounts are now shared to standard users who will have less privileges as compared to the admins, as you would expect. So I already have the credentials for the master admin, and that's what I'm going to provide on this login screen. So once you provide the correct credentials, you'll be logged in and you're going to access the dashboard. So from the dashboard here, we have three components. We have the sidebar here, which contains the links that will help you to access the different features of this specific system. We have the navbar on top here, which from the right here we have what we can call the quick access toolbar. This one will help you to access things like features like the point of sale, make orders, and also be able to see the invoices. From this other side, we have the notification area, so you'll be able to see all the, for example, the expired drugs, those drugs that are out of stock, so on and so forth, and you can be able to take action. So we'll be coming back to that to see how that is done. We also have the specific button that will help you to switch the themes of this specific system. From here, we have the profile picture and, of course, the profile name. And when you click that, there will be a drop down with more options like settings, the activity log, and the option to log out. From inside here, we have the analytics. We're able to see the initial capital. So this is the capital or the money that the pharmacy started with. We are having the total sales. So this is the total sales. And here we are having the total sales per day. So daily total sales. And then here we're having the sales orders. So this is going to show you the count, like how many sales have been made, as opposed to this, which is showing you the total amount of money that you have in sales. Then we have the invoice due, we have the profit, we have the wastages, we have the purchases, and we have the expired drugs. So in all these situations, you'll be able to see that in terms of the money. So like, for example, when it comes to wastages, you'll be able to see how much have you lost in wastages, how many or how much do you have or have you used in terms of purchases, and how much have you lost in terms of the expired drugs. We also have this specific icon here, which should be helping you to understand the health of your pharmacy in terms of wastages. Are they increasing? Are they decreasing? So we'll be able to see as we proceed that you can be able to set the minimum amount of all these specific analytics here, so that when they hit that specific value, then this arrow will be changing, so that you're able to know whether you're making progress forwards or you're progressing backwards. Also here you have the pharmacy all-time balance. So this is the balance that you have. So it will be calculated from the initial capital that you have plus all the sales minus the expired, the wastages, and the purchases that you have made. So moving down here, we have now a table that shows the sales that we've made. So we are having the table having the tracking number, the customer name, the phone, the paid amount, the balance, the payment mode, the sales date, actions. So in the action section, this one you'll be able to see that specific sale, and this one will be able to show you the status of that sale in terms of is it complete or is it paid and all that kind of things. So for example, if I click on this specific icon here, then this one should now open that specific cell, that specific individual cell. As you can see now here we have the sales, and it shows you the order details, so the name of the customer, the tracking number, the order date. We have also the payment mode. Here you have the customer details. So we have again the name, and we have the phone number. And now down here we have a table that now contains the drugs or the medicine that the customer purchased. So we're having the medicine icon or picture or profile. Then we have the name of the medicine, the price, how many they purchased, the total. Here we're having the total price, the amount that they paid, and the balance. Well, here we are back into the dashboard and back to the sales table here. And the sales table here, to be able to just manage it, we have a feature, the pagination feature, that just helps you to be able to manage the records just in case you have a very long list of purchases. You can be able to have them paginated, and you'll be able to view them as per page. And of course here we have an overview of the sales that you've made, so this should be sales. All right, so now moving on, right now I want to take you through how you're supposed to use this specific system so that they can be able to work for you. So we'll be using this sidebar here to be able to do that. So for you to be able to make sales, which is the core thing or the important thing that this system is doing, you need to provide some ingredients, or you need to provide some basic things for that to happen. So like the first thing that you need to do is to add the suppliers. You'll also need to earn the products, and before you earn the products, you need to earn the dose form. So that is whether they are capsules, their tablets, their syrups, and all that, and also the medicine size, whether it's 100 mg, 100 ml, 60 ml, and all that kind of things. And then, of course, after that, now you need to earn the customers. And after that, now that you can be able to make a sale. So let's do this practically, and we're going to start by adding a supplier, and we're not going to go into the details of editing, deleting, and all that, which is some of the obvious things that you'd expect to see in a system. So I'm going to say add supplier, and here I'm just going to come and add one. So let me just call them Jude, Joe. Let me have them active, and I can give them an email. Let me also give them a phone number, and I add that, and as you can see, that has been added successfully, because now we have been redirected into the suppliers page. From where you see, you can be able to do a live search. So for example, we can be able to search for our specific record. We can also be able to edit, we can be able to delete, but I don't recommend deleting. You can also be able to export this into an Excel file, and you can also be able to import, like you have an Excel sheet having all the suppliers and the details, and then you can just be able to import all of them at once. Or you can just be able to add them one by one by clicking on this specific button. Every table that you have in this system has a pagination, and you also be able to see the records, or just how many pages that you have so far. Alright, so we have added the supplier. That's very important. Now we want to go to the product, but before we add the product, we need to first of all add those form or the categories. You'll also notice that some names might be misplaced, so we'll be like collecting this in future. So as you can see, again, the search is there. You're able to do the exporting and all that, but at this specific point we want to add the category. So I'm just going to hit on that, and I can be able to add a category. So let me just call this test. Okay, instead of just calling it test, let me just call it test, test category. Let me make it active. This is optional, so I can leave it blank. I hit submit, and that is added here. So category is there. So finally, we can now go to add the medicine size. So this is the 60 ml, the 100 ml, and all that kind of thing. So I need to come and hit on this specific button here to be able to add. So let me try to see if I have another one here just to have a sample. Okay, I can talk of 125 mg. Make it active. Maybe I can talk of none for now, and I submit that, and that is added successfully. So it therefore means that I can be able to add the products. So I'm going back to the products by clicking on these products here. So I'm now in the products table. So this shows me the products that the pharmacy deals with. I can be able to do a search if I want. I can be able to add. I can be able to requisition, that is to request for stock or for restock, and also I can be able to export this into an Excel file. Right. Here I'm also seeing the number of products that we are dealing with so far. in the stock, we also having these colors that just helps us to know when we are running out of stock and when we need to restock. All right. So I need now to because we already have the products. Sorry, we have already added the medicine size and the suppliers and the dose form. Now we can add a product that maybe we need to start selling. So I need to just hit on add product, and here I can come and add that product. So for example, this product here, I need to come and say that it's from test category and 125 mg. If I want, I can take a picture of it and provide the picture there. And the supplier is coming from Jojo. This is something that I need to fix. It's not working, but by default, the status will be active. So that way means that the medicine can be sold, but you can deactivate it if you still want to retain it, but you're not selling it for some reasons. You can also have a description, which is optional. So I'll hit on add. So that is added successfully. You can continue adding more, but for now we're just going to leave it at that point. So if I go back to the products here, I should be able to see that specific product there with the stock, buying price and selling price, and the revenue being a 0. You can also be able to view it here, although I also have another error here that I need to fix. But apart from that, we can be able to see the profile of that specific medicine, the name, the price and the number of times that it has been sold since it was stocked. So this one will help you to know whether this is something that you want to continue dealing with or you need to drop it, or maybe you need to substitute it or something. Yeah, so you can also be able to add it to favorites, or just in a way to help you know that, oh, these are products that, as I've mentioned, that you can continue, or that maybe you want the management to know that the medicine is selling good. So like, yeah. So we can head back here to the products again. I don't recommend deleting products, but there is that option. Maybe after a thorough overview that it will not affect any financial records and all that stuff, then you can delete it. And also you can also be able to edit it. So those are some of the basic things that you expect the system to be doing for you. All right, so that being done, then we need to stock this so that maybe we can start selling them out. So all that you need to do is to first of all make a purchase. So you need to go to the purchase here, purchase list, and also remember before we continue that the system is tracking the amount that the pharmacy has. So when you're starting, you need to provide the system with the initial capital that you have started the pharmacy with. So that will always be on record, and that is now what the system is going to build on. So whether you make a purchase, it's going to subtract from that, or when you make a sale, it's going to be added on that. When some drugs expires, it's going to be subtracted from that. So that's something that you need to understand. So this specific amount here, so there's no way you're going to make a purchase if the pharmacy balance is 0. All right, so let me see, we were on this purchase, so I'm going to go to the purchase here, and I can earn a purchase from this area here. So just click on earn. Sorry. And here, there's no way you're going to add a purchase of medicine or a product that is not added. And that's why we have this restriction of the select. So you cannot just type your own thing. So in this case, for example, we want to make a purchase of this specific product, so I'm just going to select that, and then the category, so for example the text category, and I'm also going to add the expiry date, so this one should be January 1st 2026, and here I'm going to provide the supplier, and here I'm going to come and say maybe I need like 200 pieces. Okay, I need 200 pieces because I'll be selling them in terms of pieces. So like if it is one piece like that, maybe one piece is going at 100. And the piece can also be the dose, for example. Yeah, that one needs to take. And then maybe I was selling it at 120, and that should give me a profit of 20. And I submit that. So that is added successfully, and I should be able to see it down here. Now, if I go to products, I should be able to see that the buying price has been updated, and also the selling price has been updated. We don't have the revenue yet because we don't have any stock. So now we need to restock, or we need to stock that. Okay, this is something that can be done by one person or can be done by different people. So remember, in this case, I'm logged in as an admin, and that's why I'm able to do all these things. If it is a standard user, they'll only be able to do a purchase. Okay, so it's another person, totally different person who is going to do a purchase. So maybe they can do a purchase based on a request. So like if the standard user or another admin just makes a request. So I'm just clicking on requisition over here so that I can be able to request for restock of this specific drug here. There's also something here that I also need to fix. The category is picking the name instead of the category name. All right, I'll be fixing that later. So let me just click on requisition just to top up on that. So here I'm going to have a list of all the drugs that have been purchased. You don't have to do or look for them manually. You can just do a search. So for example, like that, you're only going to see the one that you need. So you can like say, oh, I need like 20 of them, for example, and I'm taking them to pharmacy. Okay, and then you do a request. So at this point, if you are a standard user, this will be the end of it for you. When you make a request, you add it. Hold that thought for now. So you can be able to add as many as you want. So they will be accumulated here. um, they will be accumulated over here. And then you can be able to down here proceed, so it will automatically be picking your username because you've already logged into the system, so it is going to track that. So I'm just going to, and of course you cannot be able to edit it because why are you editing? Okay, so hit on proceed. And if you're the standard user, then it will not take you to this. You just be told that, oh yeah, your request has been received, and you're just going to wait for it to be approved. But if you're the admin, then it's going to give you that, and here you can now be able to, yeah, it will be taking you to this page if you're the admin, and you can be able to do the approval. Okay, of course, if there is that. So if you say approve, of course, now it's going to approve that specific amount that the user had requested, and we had requested 20, so you can see that 20 has been added here. So now it is giving us the revenue, which is the selling price, the 120 multiplied by 20, I think it's 2,400. Yeah, so now it therefore means that we can be able to make a sale, we can be able to sell this specific product. And so now we move on to the vital uh, component of the system, and that is the sales. So sales has the point of sales, it has the sales order. So if I go to the point of sale, then I'm going to see all the drugs that has been uh, added into the system. I'm trying to pause because I've realized that this one has been restricted, it's not active. We need to activate it because as I had mentioned, you can be able to activate or deactivate a drug. So looks like we need to activate this. Before we continue, you can be able to see that we are having this cool card here that's showing the icon of that specific product, the number of drugs that you have in stock, like not in stock but in display. Okay, in the stock you're going to view, but in the purchases, and then you have the name of that, the price, and here you can be able to earn like how many you're selling or something. You cannot go below one, of course, because you cannot be selling zero. So let's go to the products, and I try to fix um, this one. Alright, I need to remove that and submit, uh, and then I go back here. Yeah, and as you can see now, it's not restricted anymore. So like by hitting that check button, it means that it is inactive, and checking it means that it's not active. Oh, it's active, sorry, it's active, sorry. So yeah, so I can now be able to add and say maybe I want one. So add it, and as you can see, that has been added over here. Of course, you can also be able to do a search. So like for example, I can look for the code cap. Okay, over here. This is something that I need to fix. I think with the results, this section here is a bit off. Uh, but still it's functioning in any case. So let me just add it and so you're going to notice that that is going to be added there. If for example you try to add it again, you try to add this product again, it will not be added here, but it's just going to change the quantity of what you have added, because there's no need of like saying that you have added how can I put it, like you add this one time and then you add it again and then you add another one. So like here there will be three. No, so you've only added um two, but one you have added it twice. Okay, yeah. So so for example, if I try to add, let me just show you practically, you notice that it is still two. Sorry, still notice that it's still two. But if I come and add this one, add it, now it's three, because we have three three different products, and not like um, one added several times. All right, so hope you get that. Of course, if you try to add one that is out of stock, like this one, so like let me try to add it here. It's going to tell me that the current stock is zero. You request exit the stock. So there's no way that will be added. So after that, you just need to hit on continue. And there's something that we forgot, but we're going to add it here. So this, like the checkout, you can be able to add more if you want to add more. As you can see now, here we're having the customer details, so you need to provide the details of whoever is buying that. um, you can also now be able to view what you have already purchased over here. You can also be playing aloud with this if you need to play aloud with the records, I mean with the quantity, and you'll also notice that that will be changing automatically. The prices and the totals will be recalculated automatically. Right, so let's come here. So here you need to select the customer who is buying this. So if the customer is buying for the first time, so like add first time customers, click on the button below. For existing customers, you just need to click on that button, and then you just need to provide their phone numbers. Okay, so like for example, we have not added a customer in our case, so maybe I can just click on that, and I can talk about this customer. Maybe I can provide a phone number here, like so. And then I hit on submit. That will redirect me to just see that that customer is added, but remember we have the quick access here, so we can be able to quickly get back there, continue, and now when we come here, we should be able to see that customer. So we earn that, and here we can now come and say, oh, how much are they supposed to pay? So 450. So 450 is what they're supposed to pay. Which mode are they using? Notice that if they're using M-Pesa, you provide the M-Pesa code. But if you're using cash, no codes, so it will be empty like that. So say they pay the whole amount, click on balance, and so it shows you that the customer has paid in full, and then you can submit that. Yeah, don't worry about this. It's something that I can be able to easily fix. It's not going to affect the sale. So as you can see, by just adding the customer number here, be able to see the name of the customer, be able to see the phone number. This is something that maybe we need to hide. We don't need to show all of them, of course. Yeah, that one can be fixed later. The email, and here is the pharmacy information. Here you're going to have the pharmacy icon or logo or something. This one should be sale and not invoice, and that we can fix and all that information there, the sales date, and then we remove the due date. Yeah. Suppose I was trying to reuse some of these forms, so I used the invoice one, so that was not fixed. In any case, if a customer decides that, oh, I don't need the cold cup or I don't need one of these, you can be able to remove them at this specific point. So, for example, we just remove the cold cup, for example. So, medicine removed. And so, if I click continue, we're now going to see that, that has been removed, but of course you're not going to remove it or when you have already added the paid amount. So that one will be working backwards, and it's going to affect everything in the system. So if you are removing, remove before you add the amount that the customer has paid, because now this one has already been recorded. Yeah, so you can just come and save that. So you see the success, and you're going to see your receipt appear there. You can be able to print it if you want to print it. Yeah, so there you go. Well, here I am back into the dashboard, and here we can be able to see that the analytics have changed a little bit. So that has to do with the balance, the pharmacy balance that has been increased to reflect the sale, as well as the profit that has also been increased to reflect that specific sale, and of course the total sales for today. So this one will be showing, of course, daily, and this one will be the total. You can also be able to head on to the sales, where you are going to have a page that is dedicated to sales only. So here are your sales, and you can see the most recent sale appearing here. And you can also be able to do a search, and for now this allows you to search using the tracking number. So for example, I can do 4141, and that one should be selected, and I can be able to do whatever I want to do with that specific cell. If I want to do reports, I can be able to also do a filter based on dates. So for example, we'll talk about this month. So I'll have the first month being 1st of July, maybe up to date. And I also want to like maybe filter in terms of the cash payments or M-Pesa payments. So for example, if I say cash payment and then I say filter, so that should be filtered to only those that are for this specific month, and the payment mode is cash. If I come and change this to M-Pesa, then it tells me that we don't have that because we don't have any sales that were paid via M-Pesa. So, but of course, if I switch that to all, that should show everything over there. Can also be able to do a reset, and that will now show everything. The pagination, of course, as you expect, is below there. You can also be able to see the total sales. As I said, this one should be sales and not purchases. I can also try to do an export of this. Let's try if this one is working. So just hit on export. So that should just have all the sales exported in an Excel file, as you can see over here. So you can save it or in whatever name that you want. And from there now you can be able to work on the details. All right, so that's how you can be able to work with the point of sale, which is a very vital component of this specific system. So other than the point of sales, you can also be able to do sales order. So this is where customer orders for some products, and maybe they are going to pay later. So to be able to earn sales orders, you just need to go to sales and then earn sales order. So this one should take you to this specific page. Just a second. So here you go. And so here you're supposed to select the category. Sorry, not the category, but the name of the medicine. So for example, I want to deal with test medicine. Here I'll have to add the quantity in terms of the packets, so like in terms of dosage, let me put it that way. So like for example, I earned 5, and here I can just add some status like it has been ordered and still in process. And here I can also include the customer name. This one, as you can see here, it should be added once. So add the customer details once. So for example, this should be John. And then the email is, let me just edit here, and the phone number, and then I can be able to add. And because maybe this customer has requested several of these, I can be able to like keep on adding. So for example, as you can see, the first one has been added, so medicine added successfully, and the medicine that we've added is test medicine. And you can also be able to view it over here. You can also be able to play around with the quantity if you'd like to reduce or increase that, and the amount will be auto-calculated over there. I can also be able to do another one, so like the code cap, and maybe in this case they want form. It's the same customer, so I don't need to add the details again. So let me just say in process, and I earned, and that one should be added here. So as you can see, that appears over here. If you change your mind, you can also remove the individual drugs that you don't need over there. And then after that, you can hit on continue. So this one will also track that it's you who has processed that order. So when you continue, it just like gives you a summary of all the orders that you have created. So over there, you can also remove it at this point if you want. But if you're good with how it looks like with the amounts and all that, then you can again go ahead and have that saved. So that will be saved and you'll be redirected to the sales orders. So you can see they both appear here, and as you can see, they are in process. So for example, if I want to view that, I can just click on that icon. So it's going to show me the sales. I mean the sales orders or the product that that person shows. At this point, you're not allowed to change. So at this point, the only thing that you can be able to do is now to make a payment. So, like for example, let's say the customer has paid for this drugs or products after they have been delivered. So you just need to come down here and pay the amount as it is indicated over here. So like that, and of course you're also going to change the status here to say this one is delivered, and this one is going to change to paid, and you just need to update. So once that has been updated, if let's say for example you try to go back there again, then now you're not going to see those details. You're just going to be informed that all that has been paid, as you can see. So paid, delivered, and paid. Of course, these ones, if they are paid and not delivered, it is not going to. It's going to have an option to help you to update that specific status, so that now at the end of it all, the status are reading like we have here. All right, so those are the sales orders. So the sales orders, that's how you can be able to earn them. And of course, you will also be able to read the status of a certain order here, so that you're able to know whether it is paid or it is not paid. So those are sales orders. Let's move on to adjustments. So when it comes to adjustments, this whenever you have some expired drugs or some damaged drugs for whatever reasons, so you don't want them to be existing in your system, but in the real sense, they're not there. Or maybe you're not going to sell them at the end of it all. So you need to adjust so that now the system or what is in the system reflects what you have in your pharmacy. So like for example here, we can see that we have this product expired. So it's going to appear here automatically because remember when you are adding the purchases, you added the expiry date. So the system is going to detect all those products whose dates are greater than today. So if it is appearing to be like that, like for example here, no, not greater than today, but less than today, you can see that this date is less than today, which is the 13th of July 2024, and this one is 26th of June. So it's expired. So it's going to tell you how many are expired. Of course, all those that appears with this date or that were added with this date, they will all appear here. The price and how much you're going to lose, or how much that cost. You can also, or you just be required to click on this specific icon so that you can now be able to update. So it will be showing you again the name that will be auto-populated, the name of the medicine, the category, the quantity available. Here, you're given the option of adding the number of medicine that are expired, because it could be like not all of them are expired. It's only that they were added with the same date, but they are not all expired. So you have a little way of like adding the amount or the number of the drug that you after your review, you notice that they are expired. So it could be all of them. So you can just come and say if you're free, or it could be just like 200 of them or whatever number. So let me just put all of them in this case, 353. And here I'm going to come and add the day that they expired. So this one should be last month, and this is June 24th. Yeah, you can add some notes here, but this is optional. Let me just add maybe. So you can hit on continue to adjust. And now that will be removed here, and it will be added to the when you go to the analytics in the desktop, you're going to notice that expired, that has been included as the amount that you have lost, and that should also be deducted from here. That should also be deducted from here because this No, it will not be deducted from here because those are not sales, so it will not be deducted from there. Sorry. So you're going to see that appear there. But let's go to the settings here for a minute, just so that we can be able to see something as well that we have at the settings page. Still has to do with the adjustments. So like here at the middle here, we are having the it could be the logo or the picture of the pharmacy, the name of the pharmacy, and the details appears there, and the initial capital that you started with. Here you're going to see the purchases in terms of the amount that you have spent in purchases, the wastages, so you can now be able to see the amount that we have adjusted for the expired drugs. You see that appear here. It's also showing you the daily sales as we are seeing from the page, from the analytics in the dashboard. And we also have the total sales appearing here. And here we are now be able to see the total balance. The total balance. So this total balance is the calculations of all of these. So if we take this, add this, subtract this, is going to give you this. So you're able to like tell in terms of sales, not in terms of the initial amount that you have in the pharmacy, but now in terms of the daily transactions, in terms of purchases, in terms of adjustments when it comes to expired or damaged drugs, in terms of sales and all that. So how the company or how the pharmacy is doing. So you're able to see that information there. Um, um, yeah, while we are still there, maybe we can talk about the minimum quantity. So as I mentioned, when we were on the dashboard, you can be able to set the minimum quantities of all those analytics. That way, the system is going to be telling you how the business is doing. And this one will be in reference with the minimum values that you have set here. So it's like the target. So for example, when it comes to the pharmacy balance, the pharmacy total balance, it should never go below 20,000. So if it goes below 20,000, you're given like the system shows you so that you know we are not headed into the right direction, and so you can be able to make the right adjustments. The total sales per day, in this case, I've set it to be 2,000. So you're like, did I get to 2,000 today? So if not, the arrow will be pointing down. If yes, the arrow will be pointing up. The invoices that have been paid, the expired drugs should not have very many expired drugs. Wastages, they should not go beyond 1,000. So if they are below 1,000, the company the business is doing well. In terms of profit, if it is above 1,000, business is doing well. Otherwise, it's not. Total sales and sales orders and all that. You can be able to export that. You can be able to, and you can also be able to to edit that so that you have your own information appearing there. Here's just the profile. You can be able to edit the profile. So that's the profile there. And while we are still on this, we can also talk about the activity logo. So for the activity logo, this one is tracking some of the very vital actions that are taken. So for example, right now at 11:02 on this date, 13th July 2024, the profile was updated. Okay? You can also be able to see that this user accessed the sales order page. And so on and so forth. You can be able to see all that information appearing there. and we can also be able to see the sales. So like, for example, this user sold a code cap for 220. This is the invoice number. They also sold Maramoja for this amount, and this is the invoice number, and so on and so forth. So that information is tracked there. Yeah, so yeah, the rest is logging out, so no much. While we are still on the stock adjustments, if I click on this shows me the medicine that is out of stock. So we are able to see that this test medicine, in fact, is -0. I mean -6. Then we're having this Malamoja is 0. Then we're having this, which is almost out of stock. So the reason as to why this one is -6 is because of the sales order. And I think that's something that I'm going to fix, so that if the system detects that any product is below the quantity requested, it's not going to accept that. It's not going to accept that transaction. So I think this one was left open so that it was able to detect, and it did that in excess, and so that's why we are having that. Yeah, so you can be able to click on that maybe to take action, and the most thing that you can do when it comes to the product being out of stock is to requisition. But remember, before you do the requisition, you have to ensure that you have that in the purchase list. So it's like they have been purchased and maybe they're somewhere in the store. And so by taking them to the product here, it's like you now want to move them to the display. Okay, yeah, something of the sort. So by taking action there, you'll be able to act on that. So once you are able to remove one, or work on one, it is like removed from there. So like for example, let's try to see the Panada is out of stock. I wanted to go to purchases to see if we have what we have there in stock. We only have 2. So maybe what I can do is to uh, purchase more. So in this case now, I'm assuming that the purchase has been done now outside there, and now we want to come and add that purchase in the system. So we're going to have the Panadol, maybe it should be a tablet, but let's just say test. And then maybe we can talk of the expiry date being January 1st. And then the supplier is this one. The quantity purchased, let's add maybe 600. And I'm going to add the buying price and the selling price. So like for example, I can come and talk about one dosage. Let's say it's going for the buying price, let's say 15. This is not the actual amount, of course. And then maybe we sell it at 20, and then we get a profit, and we submit that. Because you're going to have the actual buying, and you'll also be able to know the selling price. So that means now we have that in stock, so we can be able to go to the products and request for Panadol. So we can say requisition, and here we can come and search Panadol. So here you go. And I just maybe need like 100 of them. and I need to move them to the pharmacy. So if you are the admin, you'll be able to finish this process until the end. Sorry. Looks like we did not purchase that successfully, or maybe we did a different drug. Let me see, because Parado is here, the stock is 200. Oh yeah, sorry. I've noticed something that I also need to fix. It was added instead of updating, because it was already existing. So it needs to be, if it is existing, we update this stock instead of adding, including another one there. And that's why when we try to add it here, or requisition here, we are having two of them. Okay, so all right. Front that, and I'll be able to fix that. So let's have that and request. So now, oh sorry, it's the same. Let me try this one. Okay, so it looks like still picking that. Let me try this one. Yeah, it's still picking the Panadol, which has a stock of 200. I don't know why it's not picking the. All right, so I'll be fixing that. So basically, that should help us to be able to update that. So I wanted to see or show you how the system is able to do that, but looks like we are having an issue with that, which I'm going to have it fixed because there are 200 stock. 200. Yeah, it's like it's not able to get to this. Maybe because of the category, because looks like this one I've given it a different category than this one. Let's try and see if that could be what is making it not to pick that and picking the one that has a stock of only two. If I say sample category, the other remains the same, the information. Oh, okay, that has been edited successfully. Let's go to, yeah, but that is giving us an issue because now after editing that, I've realized that all of that has been taken to the products. It's like it has been requisitioned in a way. So that's also something else that I noticed that I'm going to fix. So all that amount that I've edited has been moved to this, but that's not what we wanted to do over there. So those are some of the issues that I'm going to fix, and maybe in the next video I'm going to ensure that that is working fine. Yeah, but at least you can see the idea of how the system is at least working. So one of the reasons as to why I'm sharing this is one, to ensure that I get people who can acquire this system, because system is out for sale. So it's but it's not that expensive. I only I require just a few dollars from you guys, and if you can also help me to come up with ideas of how we can be able to improve it, the better. Okay, so I'm going to see how I can be able to fix that, and of course, in the final product that you're going to receive, that is one of the things that will be fixed, and it will continuously be fixed so that we have everything working as expected. So if it is completed, like for example, now you cannot see the panel here because now the stock is up to date. All right, so those are the adjustments. So you can be able to make the adjustments from here, or you can be able to make them from here. So you know, so when it comes to coming here, you'll be able to like adjust those that are out of stock, and of course those that are expired. When you come here to make adjustments from this end, you'll be able to see those that are expired here. And if there's any other adjustment, like maybe the drug was damaged or you just want to dispose it for whatever other reasons, you're going to come to this one. And here you can be able to pick the drug, pick the category, the expense date, like when you the date that you are adjusting that, the total price, the available quantity, the adjusted quantity, the expense type. So like you can see damaged, okay, and of course now you can be able to add some optional notes there, and then you adjust. So that's to ensure that that specific drug is you get rid of it, so that it's not appearing in the system, but sorry, it's appearing in the system, but in the physical, it's not appearing in the pharmacy physically. Okay. All right, so after you do all those adjustments, there is now the expenses. So this page is just dedicated to the expenses, like basically the amount that you have spent, as the name suggests. So it first of all gives you an overview. So you have the expired, you know how many drugs are expired, of what amount. We also have purchases, how many drugs or medicine that you have purchased, what amount, those that are damaged and what amount. And then we have this graph here that's just giving you an overview of that. So it's just showing you the purchases and the expired, the purchases and the expired. Okay, so you can also, of course, be able to view individually. So, like the purchases, you can be able to click on this to view the purchases. You can be able to click on this to view the damaged, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so we added the dose form, we added the medicine size. For the user account, this is where if one is the admin, they can be able to add users. So you can be able to see the users who are here. I'm also going to have it with the role appearing here so that you're able to know what this user is doing. Yeah, but of course, if it has an admin, you know that that is the admin. So when you click on add user, you can be able to come and add that user over here. And of course, select the role, whether they are the admin or they are just the standard user. So once you're done, you just register that account, and it should now be visible over here. Okay, so also the system has a way of toggling between light and dark theme, so you can be able to switch. So the default theme will be dark, but you can be able to switch to the light theme if that is what you prefer. So that's how the light theme will look like. So that's the admin, and you notice that the admin has all the privileges, but you can also be able to log out here, and maybe we can try to log in using a standard user. I don't know whether I can remember the credentials here. Okay, so that's not correct. I can't quite remember this. Okay, so let me just because I cannot remember the password for that. So let me just create one. So real quick, add user, and I may call it test one, test one. So they cannot be the same. If the system realizes that there is another email matching what you put here, that will be flagged and you'll not be able to log in. So let me just have the password as 1234, and I'm going to have this as a standard user. You can also have it banned, or we just leave it as it is so that the user is able to access. Okay, let me fix this for a minute. So let me see. So the account is added successfully. So you can be able to see that there. So I mean now log out here, and I try to log in, and that I'm logged out. I mean I'm logged in successfully. So you'll be able to see that this user is unable to add the purchases, but they can be able to see all the other information. And when they do a request, so like for example, if we go to the product and do a requisition, so like for example, I say mara moja, I can maybe request like 2 requests. So you'll be able to see that they can be able to search and request as many as they want. You'll be able to see the requester down here. And if I hit on proceed, it just tells me that the request was made successfully, and that's it for me. I just now need to wait for that information to be granted. Okay, so once granted, it's going to be removed from this specific section here. So the user has search limited, and the user can also not be able to see the activity logo. Yeah, so that's also hidden from them. But they can be able to do the rest like sales. They can be able to do sales orders and so on and so forth. They can also be able to pay invoices. So, for example, if I go to invoices here, they are able to make the payments if they receive, if the pharmacy receive any payments for any supplies. So that's the simple system is still under progress, and there are a lot of things that, of course, I may not be able to show you all of them. Yeah, but of course, if it is one person who have purchased the system, we'll be able to have a thorough overview of the system and you'll be able to understand how it works, and we can also be able to input or remove whatever details or operations that you might not need in your final product. So I'm going to leave it at that specific point for now, but I'll be updating it and giving you updates so that at least at the end of it, we have a final product that at least majority of us can agree with. So up until that time, thanks for watching and see you that next time.